Following Ma Chao's crushing defeat at Tong Pass, he continued to fight against Cao Cao without the strength of the Guangdong coalition. Skirmishes and battles were fought at various locations on and surrounding the Qi Mountains, as Ma Chao simply refused to yield to Cao Cao. Yang Fu eventually defeated him in 213, but when they re-met in the same year, he was violently struck by his spear and severely injured. Around the time of this incident, the generals Ma Dai and Pang De fled out of Liang to take refuge with the warlord Shang Lu at Hanzhong, where Ma Chao would eventually end up joining them as well. It didn't take long for Ma Chao to attempt to wage another war with Cao Cao by persuading Shang Lu to lend him troops in spring of 214. When he tried to recapture Liang province by laying siege to Jiangsu and Zhaoang at Xi Mountain, Xiahou Yuan aptly reacted to the threat. By the time our lord receives our report, Jiangsu and his allies are done for. He followed Zhang He's 5,000 vanguard troops to defend Qi Mountain, where they quickly lifted the siege and defeated Ma Chao, forcing him to flee back to Hanzhong. His failure to make any gains from his war caused Zhang Lu's officer, Yang Bai, to grow jealous of him and want to harm him. Upon learning of this, Ma Chao left Zhang Lu's service and went to live with the Di peoples around the area. Also at this time, Zhang He was sent to force the various Xiang tribes throughout Liang to surrender. Xiahou Yuan now made plans to attack Xianqin by surprise, in the hopes of capturing Han Sui. When his soldiers arrived at the city, Xiahou Yuan captured its food supplies, so Han Sui made a break for it and escaped. The soldiers chased him away inside Luoyang, and at that time Xiahou Yuan was less than 15 kilometers from his target. Many soldiers encouraged the continuation of the pursuit, but another suggestion was made, favouring to attack the Di barbarians of Xinguo instead. Han Sui's men were well trained while the walls of Xinguo were strong, so Xiahou Yuan knew that a quick victory was not possible either way. He suggested to his men a third option, that they attack the Xiang base at Changli instead, in order to draw out Han Sui's men. If his Xiang warriors leave their posts to protect their homes, then his army will be weakened. If Han Sui leads them out to provide assistance, then he would now be vulnerable to an offensive. If he decides to stay in their current position, they will become isolated. With the plan in motion, Xiahou Yuan divided his men up to guard the supplies and heavy equipment. He led the light troops to the Xiang camp of the Shaodang Xiang and laid waste to Changli, burning down many camps and killing many people. As expected, the Xiang tribesmen had left Han Sui's ranks and now encountered Xiahou Yuan's army, but Han Sui himself provided no assistance throughout this raid. When Xiahou's men saw the size of the incoming enemy army, they strongly suggested building a moat and walls. This plan was declined though, as Xiahou reasoned that his troops were too tired for construction and argued that the enemy is still easy to deal with. He ordered for the drums to be sounded and engaged Han Sui's Xiang tribesmen head-on, wiping them out entirely. He could now openly lead his troops back to Luoyang County to attack the Di tribes at Xinguo as originally suggested. Here, he defeated and forced King Xianwan to flee to Ma Chao, before also punishing the Shuge encampments around Gaoping and capturing their livestock. Following his bountiful victories, Xiahou Yuan was authorized to help oversee affairs in the region, so he now set his sights on the self-declared King of the River Source who pacifies the Han. Cao Cao ordered Xiahou Yuan to attack the rebel chief Songzhi, who had risen up in the 180s and ever after remained a problem. When Xiahou Yuan besieged Fuhan, he conquered the county within months, then executed Songzhi and all of his followers. By 215, most of western China had been pacified, so Cao Cao wrote to Xiahou Yuan. Songzhi had been causing trouble for over 30 years, yet you eliminate him in one movement, making an unprecedented achievement. As Confucius once said, "I cannot do as well as you." Sometime between 17th of April and 15th of May in 215, Cao Cao launched his campaign against Shang Lu in Hanzhong. Shang Lu ordered his younger brother Zhang Wei and his officer Yang Ang to defend Yangping Pass, where defensive structures were built throughout the mountains. When Cao Cao's army reached Chenkang, the local Di tribes rose up and blocked their path, so Zhang He and Zhu Ling were sent forward to clear a way through. For the next 3 months, Cao Cao's army made their way towards the entrance of Hanzhong, Yangping Pass. They marched through San Pass and engaged the Yi King Di Mao in combat, where thousands of tribesmen were defeated. Within 1 month, Cao Cao had the depopulation in this area massacred, while the generals from Xiping, including Xu Yan, Jiangxi and some others, had killed Han Sui and sent his head to Cao Cao. Throughout the long and arduous journey up the mountainous terrain, the soldiers started complaining. Cao Cao halted his march, then rallied their spirit together by announcing that he would remember them for their contributions. They continued on, but the advances still suffered, so Cao Cao launched alternate assaults into the mountains instead. He was still unable to overcome the enemy defences and find a way through, however, so he withdrew his forces. Xiahou Yuan and Shou received the orders to recall the soldiers, so were sent forward to bring the troops back from the hills. Some of the returning troops got lost in the night, and in the confusion surprised some of the defenders who were also fleeing from their posts. When this was reported back to Xiahou Yuan, not everyone believed it to be true, so he rode on ahead to go and see for himself. He confirmed the enemy's movements, then doubled back to Cao Cao to let him know that the main army could now exploit this new opening. Not only did Zhang Wei's position collapse, but the rest of Zhang Lu's men also lowered their guard when they saw that their enemy had retreated. Cao Cao sent secret orders to Shi Biao and Gao Zuo to lead a sneak attack at night and successfully killed Yang Ang, while Zhang Wei escaped. Upon learning of the breach, Zhang Lu retreated to his fortress at Ba Commandery, while Cao Cao's army occupied Nanjing, the capital city of Hanzhong Commandery. When Zhang Lu left his capital, he didn't destroy his wealth and treasures, nor attempt to take them with him, instead leaving them behind, saying, "These things belong to the country, not me." The people of Hanzhong surrendered, with many tribal kings leading their followers to submit, so Cao Cao appointed some as administrators over Ba, East Ba, and West Ba, which led to Zhang Lu himself eventually coming out to surrender. Pang De joined Zhang Lu in surrendering, and was immediately hired by Cao Cao. Upon arriving to their commanderies, Cao Cao's tribal kings were now set against Liu Bei, who had recently conquered Yi province. Huang Chuan advised Liu Bei and told him, if Hanzhong is lost, then the 3 Ba commanderies will be in danger. This would be like severing the arms and legs off of the people of Yi. In December of 215, Huang Chuan was appointed as army protector by Liu Bei and sent to welcome Zhang Lu, but he had already left the area to surrender. Cao Cao's military presence in the region was reinforced, but Huang Chuan defeated them and gave them no option but to abandon the 3 commanderies. At the start of 216, Cao Cao left Hanzhong with officers such as Xiahou Yuan and headed back to Yi, leaving general who attacks the west Xiahou Yuan behind to guard the city. Inspector of Yi province Xiahou Yuan and Zhang He also gave their assistance to defend, with the latter often leading raiding parties around the area. Liu Bei, Zhang Fei and several others deployed their troops to counter him, but in February, Zhang He led several battalions away from the main army south to Baxi. He advanced to Dangchu, Mengtuo and Dangxi counties with the intention of evacuating and relocating the civilians, but he was opposed by Zhang Fei's soldiers for around 50 days. During this time, Zhang Fei redirected more than 10,000 soldiers through an alternate route at Yangxi to intercept and ambush his enemy. The diverted flow of troops moved through the difficult mountain passes to split Zhang He's army apart, making them unable to support each other. Zhang Fei earned a great victory here over Zhang He, who lost his horse and slipped away into the hills, arriving at Nanjing from another road with less than 20 of his personal guards. With Ba Commandery now secure, Liu Bei could safely return to Chengdu. On the advice of Fa Zheng and Huang Chuan, he planned to launch his Hanzhong campaign from the Ba region in December of 217.